Discuss bilateral relations between Russia and India. We can cross live now to retired Major General and Director of the United Services Institution of India, BK Sharma. BK Sharma, welcome to RT International. What can you tell us about...
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. What can you tell us about the nature of the military cooperation currently going on between Russia and China? Has it been affected by the war? And we obviously know that India is looking to diversify its arms supplies and focus more on domestic production.
Yes, that is true, that India is trying to diversify its defense requirements, but notwithstanding that, Russia has been and will remain the most reliable defense partner of India. Even at this juncture, when we have started acquiring some weapon systems from the West, 64% of our military arsenal still comes from Russia. And what is more important about this relationship is that it is strategic in nature, and Russia has been providing us the transfer of technology and joint production of some of the strategic weapons. So, notwithstanding the Ukraine crisis, I think our dependence or our interdependence with Russia is going to continue. While at the same time, we do require a multitude of weapons from high technology weapons from other countries. So we are looking for those sources, but that is not at the cost of our military-to-military relationship with Russia. I would say that very recently we have signed military technical cooperation with Russia 2021 to 2031. And under the aegis of that cooperation, we are looking forward to some big-ticket weapons coming to us, like S-400 is now coming. Similarly, we're looking for the nuclear submarines, improvement of our frigates, and also many other weapon systems like tanks, attack helicopters, and a whole lot of other weapon systems.
Well, it certainly looks like that cooperation isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Now, it's obviously quite a busy week over in Vladivostok. We've seen the Vostok 2022 military exercises, which are including participation of Russia, India, and China. And it's quite interesting that India and China are both taking part, in this event, especially given the current tensions in the Himalayas. What would you say about that?
See, India has always taken an independent stand on these issues, irrespective of what has happened internationally and the kind of sanctions that have been imposed against Russia. India, you would have seen by virtue of our voting at the United Nations, we've taken a very neutral stance on that. Similarly, even though we have problems with China on our borders, but that doesn't prevent us from cooperating in a multilateral forum such as Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Peace Mission series of exercises. And similarly, our participation in the Vostok exercises now, it's also an act of solidarity with Russia when it is passing through some difficult times. And we are in the process of, under the rubric of this trilateral cooperation, develop better complementarity and interdependence and interoperability, and learn from each other's best practices.
Now, you mentioned this in one of your previous answers, that India is looking to develop its military, and that includes its navy. Obviously, notably, there was the launch of the INS Vikrant just a few days ago, India's first domestic carrier. Now, what message is the country looking to send to the world with this aircraft carrier?
See, India has always been aspirational to develop its own indigenous program. Today, we are under the rubric of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that means self-reliance India. We're giving more and more impetus to indigenization, almost with the help from transfer of technology from other foreign countries like Russia. So this is a significant step in India's self-confidence and self-reliance. But much of it has happened with the help of Russia, because you were able to provide us a very important aircraft carrier, which was the mainstay of our Navy. And I'm sure you're also helping us in the modernization of frigates. So while we are talking about indigenization, but our complementarity and symbiotic relationship with Russia remain. And as far as our signaling to the world is concerned, we know that China is about creating about 6 aircraft carriers in the coming decade and all. And India would also like to have a certain degree of freedom of maneuver and certain influence, maritime influence in the Indian Ocean region. So therefore, we would increase the number of aircraft carriers and a submarine fleet and other vessels in times to come.
Certainly one of a few countries with an aircraft carrier with such a large proportion being produced domestically. BK Sharma, retired Major General and Director of the United Services Institution of India. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much.